Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amy Hashim and I own Love Dogs Trading Inc. I started in the industry way back 2008 when I graduated. At first, I worked in Rustans as a personal shopper while waiting for my board exams. So, I'm a registered nurse, so ang lapit, diba? And then, I actually worked for SM as a merchandise manager for the shoes. Talagang walang connection in medical field. So, there are a lot of struggles at first because nobody would have believed that or would have thought that shopping as something that's lucrative would even be possible, right? So I just pursued even if my parents were against it at first. I told them that this is what I really wanted to do. Then I just followed my passion and then fast forward to 10 years today, I'm here now. It is difficult, of course, but as long as you remain true to yourself, true to what you really love, definitely, whatever the odds may be, you will turn it around.
Thank you. So I have a question because I have a friend like she's in the middle like or in the dilemma of pursuing her dreams and also she's in the medical field as well. Have you ever experienced that? Oh, parang sayang I wouldn't be able to use yung knowledge or yung tinapos ko in college.
You know the best thing about being a nurse and being in this field is that it's in the service industry. Whatever the nursing profession taught me, it's about caring for other people. So my business, it withstood everything because I know how to take care of my clients. I know how to take care of everyone around me. And it's not rooted in just the passion for making money. It's the passion of making people happy. So you see, it's not always about sayang hindi ko magagamit. There's always a cost for everything. That's what I really believe in. So, you know, if she's in the medical field, whatever it is that she learned in it, she can always inject in whatever field that she really wants. Because truth be told, I was supposed to take medicine as well. But, you know, I did find it in my heart to take it. I would have, you know, the knowledge to do it, to pursue it, but in my heart, I knew that masasayang siya eh. So whatever I learned in nursing about taking care of the rest of the people, it's nurturing, you know. That's what I thought. That's what nursing taught me, and then I used it in my business, and it became really successful.
Apply mo pa rin.
Yeah. Essence. Asan yung mga coach ko?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Story. Yeah, okay, so I'm Janice Villanueva of Mami Mundo. Hello everyone. Thank you, Wacoal, for having me. So I run the country's first and biggest and most active mom community and resource in the Philippines. So I started Mami Mundo when I was a new mom. So my eldest is 22. He just graduated college. So it's years. So 23 years ago, I was a pregnant mom, and back then there was no social media, there was no internet. There was internet pero ano pa lang, email, dial-up, sad. And there was no support for moms. I would look for classes and support groups, and there was none. In fact, no one, when I wanted to breastfeed, no one could help me at the time. And based on my own needs as a mom, I was always an organizer type. So I would call my friends or moms who would need support, and I would organize groups and get a doctor to talk and help us. So ganon, it started that way. And now with digital and publishing, and we do events all over the country, we've reached out to more than almost 1 million moms in 22 years. So so for me, it really just stemmed from my own needs as a mom, and I just grew it as I had my own needs. It grew and grew. So when I was pregnant, I had a pregnancy class. Then I was breastfeeding, I had a breastfeeding class. When I was doing my party for my son, I wanted to set up a party business. Ganun lang. Parang it just, I think a lot of moms, like Reese, diba, designed a baby bag, I know, in R2R when she became a mom. I think motherhood really brings so many inspirations kasi. So for me, I just followed that, and I didn't intend for it to be a business or anything more than just my own needs. But diba, just follow our passion, and just, I think for me it's passion and purpose. Just, I felt that if I have needs, other moms would need the same thing. So I just wanted to help also. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, that's nice. I think it's more like you see what's lacking in the community, and then you try to bring out and help and give something that you can do about it, right? Yes.
Bye. Hello everyone, I'm Erica.
your brand. So, my story naman, I guess it's I had an early quarter life crisis. So right now, I'm actually 29 years old. But around 22 or 23, because I started as a corporate person. So I was in sales, and actually SM was my account. And if you're in sales and you're working for a multinational company, it's always results that matter, no matter how you achieve that goal. So I found myself greatly challenged in terms of values because I had to lie to the account because that's how you manage sales, you know. And it's reality. Like if you're in sales, even until today, you still lie. And around that age, I started to realize that, hey, I didn't really go to a good school. My parents did not send me to a good school just to be a professional liar, you know. So that's when I had like an early quarter life crisis, and eventually I found the field of social entrepreneurship. And I was drawn to this movement that you can actually do business with a heart and with a purpose, that it's not all about profits. And so that became my new dream. Instead of, climbing the corporate ladder, my dream is to affect as much change as I can in the field that I'm working on. So now, I was able to start my own social enterprise called Carabella Dairy. And what we do is we work with farmers, cooperatives, in partnership with the Philippine Carabao Center, which is an agency under the Department of Agriculture, and also with Gawad Kalinga communities. So we transform raw milk into really good dairy products like ice cream. So hopefully you get to try it next time. So that's currently my journey.
Wow, that's nice. I think what's more fulfilling is that when you get to pursue your dream and then at the same time help other people as well. Right. Thank you. Miss Inka.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity also from Wacoal for being a platform where women like us get to inspire others as well. So I'm Anne from Jacinto and Lirio. Jacinto and Lirio is actually Spanish for hyacinth and lily. So in Jacinto and Lirio, we turn this water hyacinth, commonly known as the water lily, here in the Philippines into something of value. So why the water hyacinth? So back then in 2009, we were still in Ateneo and we had to start business then. But when we were brainstorming for what business to start, one of my group mates, she had a tita who works for DTI. And that same year, the government was tackling the water hyacinth problem because of the flooding it causes, irrigation problems, etc. So we decided to take a look. We went to different areas with high water hyacinth infestation from Pasig, Marikina, Pampanga, Las Piñas, Laguna. So we went to all those places, and with our own eyes, we saw how devastating the image was with the water hyacinth and how badly affected the people who live beside the lakes are affected. Kasi tayo, we experience those problems pag, let's say, malalaning baha, talagang pumapasok sa bahay. But sila, konting problem lang, sila yung una affected, and especially with waterborne diseases, malaria, dengue, ganyan. So from there, that scenario inspired us to do something with the water hyacinth and pursue that as our main raw material. That was from there, at the same time, since they are the ones immediately affected, we decided to also give livelihood opportunities to these women, especially moms, who can really go to work, to help in the family income because they have to take care of their children, there's no yaya, ganyan. So that's when it started na we were giving livelihood. But back then, we had no idea about social entrepreneurship. Like, it just happened to be like that. And then eventually, we got to learn more stories that, hey, there's a term for that. And yeah, one of our inspirations was actually Rags to Riches also, who was one of the initial social enterprises in the country. And there's also Human Nature there. So from there, yeah, that's how the business started. And then eventually, graduation came. This is a project. No? So, pero now, it's like 9 years from graduation. And why am I still here? So after graduation, I had this personal reflection also. I took this test called kazone.com. It's basically a site that would help you realize your God-given purpose. A purpose that was specifically made for you, for me. So I took the test, and from there, everything connected. Like my past experiences, like before I didn't connect this with Jacinto and Nero, but I realized that before kasi I already loved recycling ever since I was 6 years old, 5, 7, ganyan. My projects in school was made out of recycled materials. Ganyan. And whenever I would give gifts, I use recycled newspaper as gift wrapping, again, old magazines. And with my projects, I wanted it to look unique rin kasi. So aside from recycling, I think using those materials nga that one would throw out sa trash would make my project unique. Ganyan. Then at the same time, there's a business background. Yeah, the family business. We were in the fashion industry, my mom. So that's where I got my business sense in a way. And even as young as 7 years old, I was already, selling stuff to my classmates, my art crafts. Ganyan, I make small artsy stuff. Ganyan. Ayun. And at the same time, I had a Christian background, so I was born in a Christian church with joining medical missions and the like. Kaya, so everything connected. And sabi ko, wait, parang this is really how I was being molded ever since I was young until eventually there was Jacinto and Nero. So that's when it really pushed me to continue Jacinto and Nero. And there are times that sabihin nila, kasi I had group mates, so not all of my group mates continued towards this path. So sometimes they would say, hey, para kang martyr, ikaw na natitira dyan. Ganyan, and most of my batchmates were earning so much than me. Yun. So, but anyway, I'm still continuing kasi like the others, it wasn't really about the money. Though I was blessed because, well, may backup for my finances. Ganyan. Pero as life goes on, siyempre may struggles rin as, starting a family and all. Ganyan. Pero still, what Jacinto is about, that's something that keeps me going, and I think doing something that has meaning not just for myself but for others is really what's inspiring me to really continue what I'm doing right now.
That's nice. I think what I'm learning from your story is that sometimes when we follow like our calling, that's the time that we find about our happiness and what we're really looking for our life or in the future.
Yeah. So basically, like whatever field, maybe it be not in entrepreneurship necessarily, maybe in the corporate world or in service, anything, as long as it's your God-given purpose, be the best. And don't go with the negative trend in the industry, whatever that is.
Thank you so much, Miss Anne. So let us hear now from Miss Fernandez.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. So my name is Reese Fernandez Ruiz. I'm a co-founder and president of Rags to Riches, which is an 11-year-old social enterprise. So it's been 11 years now since we started, and we started in Payatas. So are you familiar with Payatas? Yes. So there were artisans there who were making foot rugs out of scrap fabric. I'm sure if you see these foot rugs around, you'll recognize them right away. And they were the artisans were only making 10 to 16 pesos a day. That is not per rug, that is per day. And that was because they didn't have access to the supply of raw materials or to the supply or to the market. So they don't have access at all. And it is the story of the lives of so many people. Fast forward 11 years, we were able to partner with designers such as Raffle, Amina Aranaz. We now have our in-house design team led by Christian Serra, who is also a design teacher in SOFA. And we're able to provide training and opportunities to all of our artisans. So this is one of our bags here, and also this, and also everything inside that I will not anymore take out of my bag because mag-aal sa balutan pa ako later. So yes. And actually, Wacoal Stories and the empowerment that Wacoal has been doing for women all these years resonates so much with us because it's about opening opportunities, uplifting lives, empowering people. So while everything you see here are rags to riches, I also wear everything Wacoal. So, diba? Yun na yun. And yeah, so when we started 11 years ago, the challenges were very different. It was about gaining the community trust. Because, when you go to a community and you say you want to help, of course, people will not automatically say, sure, help, because, we appreciate you and everything. Because you have to understand that they come from a background that's very difficult. Their trusts have been betrayed a lot. So they really have trust issues. I mean, even you, if you come from a bad relationship and somebody kind comes along, right? You're like, totoo ba to? So, hindi hugot yun kasi I'm happily married. So, okay. So, you just feel that that how different is this gonna be like? So the trust was very difficult to gain and to build in the beginning. And the challenges just evolve every time. But what I love about doing something that resonates with your values is that you are willing to go through the challenges. Because lahat ng trabaho may challenge. Lahat. As in, even if you love what you're doing, even if it's what you're passionate about, there will be parts in it that you will absolutely hate. You may be an artist, but there are parts of being an artist that you really don't like doing, right? So, it's not 100% all the time. But is it worth it? So, that's always the question. So, for us, even if there are so many challenges, I really honestly believe it's worth it. And the last thing I'm going to say about that is I think it's because of my upbringing. I was brought up by a missionary mom. So ever since I was 3 years old, we go around different churches. And I'd see the realities of poverty, but I'd see the potential of opportunity. That you don't always have to give food or income or toys or school supplies. You also have to give those. But you don't just have to give those. You also have to provide opportunities. Because opportunities is a rare resource in this world. And it's what we privileged people have. But a lot of other people don't. So when I know that that is what my work is about, then I know it's worth it.
That's nice. I think it's more of what you can give also to the community. And then you tackle about the trust issues. So can you share with us how you were able to overcome that challenge with your business as well, and then with communicating with the community?
Well, I think just like in any relationship, it's always a balance between space and presence, diba? Like, it applies to all relationships, guys. And sometimes we forget just because we think we're strangers. So like us and the community artisans, we started out as strangers. And most of us do, anyway, until we become part of this community. And now we have something in common. So how we're able to do it is we gave space when it's needed, but we also showed them that we're here to stay. So kahit marami nang nangyayari, ang hirap-hirap na, we're not just gonna give up on each other because that was our goal. We're gonna be partners. So it actually took 4 years. Akala ko mga few weeks lang ganun. But tagal siya because they've been victims of this unfair trade and unfair supply chain structure for 50 years or more. So honestly, akala ba namin yung 50 years na yon mababawi namin ng 2 weeks? Diba? Parang we also had to get over ourselves and get over our egos and leave that out the door and say, you know what, let's be open here. This wasn't our problem. We didn't go through what they went through. So let's be part of this process. So when we made that commitment and we stayed and we fought it out and we talked to each other even when it's hard, I think that is when the real change happened. So when you talk to our artisans now, they're super confident. They know they can fight. They can fight for their rights. They can say what they need. And for us, that's empowering. For all of us, not just them.